Hello, this is Catherine Marie. I wanted to do a quick introduction for the episode. I always listen to the episodes once I'm done with them to make sure that I don't make some error that I should need to correct. And I made one little error, and I wanted to tell you that later on in this episode, I talk about having fluid in the legs, like dependent or peripheral edema. And instead of legs, I said lungs. So scratch the lungs. I was talking about the legs. But anyway, that's it. Okay, enjoy. Thanks. Hello, friends. This is Catherine Marie, and you are listening to Long COVID Real Talk podcast. I am recording this from a hotel bed. I tried to go to visit a loved one out of state and drove a long way, and it has been wonderful to see them. I was able to do a little bit of something to help out, and that made me feel really good. And then I realized after we came back from fireworks that my legs were both really pretty swollen, and it kind of scared me, because I'm 42 years old, and the only time my legs have swollen like this was when I was pregnant. One time when I was pregnant, and then once after I had my kid, when I was home from the hospital. It took a while for my legs to go back down to normal size. But I'm just like, wow, I feel like I'm a heart failure patient or something, It just is so mind-blowing. And then I was starting to feel kind of numbness and tingling in my legs, which makes sense to me because if there's extra fluid in my legs because of being in a sitting position driving for, I don't even want to tell you how many hours it was because you're going to think I was an idiot to even try. But I just feel really limited and really down and frustrated. And it's really had a profound impact on the visit because the first day was great. And then the day after was when my legs were swollen and, and then I had to take a lot of naps, and I was able to get off the couch, but, mainly I just had to lay down on the couch, and I had to ask my husband to drive because I just don't, I don't feel well enough to drive. My eyes are feeling weird, and I think my legs are, I think the numbness and tingling was happening because if you have extra fluid in your lungs and it's kind of pushing against your nerves and blood vessels and everything that's usually in there, I could imagine that the nerve would be like, what is happening, and you would get a weird sensation. And I was laying here just thinking, oh, I feel like crap. And then I was thinking, oh, I should probably do a podcast episode. But then I was thinking, no, I shouldn't, because I don't want to be a negative voice. I don't want to tell people how awful it is to have a flare-up, or I guess this is kind kind of a pseudo flare, because some parts are bad, but I haven't been bedbound, you know. There are periods of time during the day where I'm okay for a short period of time before my energy drops out from underneath me. But the sleeping has been helpful, I think, and just laying flat has been helpful. I don't have any edema that I can tell that's significant anyway right now. It just took a couple of days to go away, or 3 days, I don't know. And it's just been kind of a wake-up call. Like, yeah, you can do what you think you can, I don't know, like you can act like you're a normal person, but you're not a normal person anymore. And if you try to do normal person stuff, you're going to hear about it from your body, you know? So the rest of the trip, I'm finishing up this episode after we had returned home, because when I was doing the episode, I think someone came in the hotel room at that moment. But the rest of the trip went pretty well. I tried to pace myself a little better, and on the way home, my husband drove and I propped my legs up on the dashboard for most of the ride home. And then for part of the drive, at the very, very end, I did a little bit of driving, but I tried to make sure that my seat was positioned in a way that the lymph going back up to my torso would not get blocked from how I was sitting. Usually I sit up and forward in the car, but I was trying to sit back a little bit more than usual. But I just talked to one of my doctors today about this trip, and she said, you know, it's good. You're pacing yourself. You're trying to pace yourself, and you're trying to do stuff that is relaxing for you, and it's good for you to be doing trips like this, and, you know, keep it up. And so that made me feel like it was less of a disaster, and I really enjoyed going to one of the national parks near where we went. And I was going to try to go to a couple other places, but we only were able to go to one of the 3 places that I wanted to hit up. And so I think I'm going to try to reschedule another trip. And I think this time we might fly instead of drive, because I think it might have been a little much. But anyway, that is the end of the little episode on my recent trip, and thank you for listening. If you want to reach out, my email is longcovidrealtalk@gmail.com, and please share with a friend if you know someone with long COVID. And if not, I'm happy to have you here, and thank you for listening. Okay, have a good one. Take care.